Welcome everyone to Apple Insider. It is Andrew here. You can find me on Twitter at Andrew_OSU. And I'm beyond excited today. So excited. One of my favorite smart home tech companies is Nanoleaf. They've created a bunch of stuff that I'm sure you've seen. Every gamer that's got the Nanoleaf panels, the triangular panels on the wall behind them, they came out with their tiles or canvas, as they called it, their square ones. They came out with their hexagons, which were really awesome, and then there was like shapes, which allowed you to blend like small triangles or big triangles, all this different stuff together. Then there was the Essentials line, which I was in love with because it was the first one to support thread. I've got a bulb right over there. You can't see it, but it's over there. The bulb that supported thread and the light strip. There's one above me. I add it for color sometime into these videos. And it again supports thread. And now we have this. Something other crazy unique. I mean, they were some of the first panels to come to market. They were like some of the first to support thread on the market. Might have been the first consumer product to support thread on the market. And now we've got this. Wooden panels. Wood look panels. Yeah. So here's Nanoleaf again, kind of bringing the humanity, the earth back into the smart home stuff. It's always so sterile, so white, so clean. We're doing something different now. We're going to be looking at some wooden panels. So let's go ahead and get these things open because I am dying to play with these and set them up. I have not had any time yet when I originally start recording this video, like the beginning of this video here that recording as we speak. I haven't got to play these yet. I did open the expansion so I could look at the panels before opening the box of this guy, and they're so freaking cool. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. I haven't had a smart home product like this exactly before. By the way, how cool is that packaging? Look at that. The little box to pull those out. So we got the panels themselves over here. It comes with a stack of panels, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. 7 panels in your starter kit. And then you have the controller, which also has a wood look. Look at this. This is the controller that runs on the side. Also has that wood veneer look to it. So nice kind of blending everything in together. So we've got our controller, connectors to connect all these guys together. Boop-a-doo. Then we got the plug. We have some adhesives, because who doesn't love some adhesives? A sticker, and the power cable itself hiding in here, which, by the way, now has a nice braided cord. If you haven't seen this before, braided cable on this. So this is everything we need. Let's go ahead. I'm going to show you these just a little more detail, but then let's go ahead and put this on the wall and show you how cool this thing works. So this is what the tiles look like. It's essentially kind of like vinyl flooring. So they're plastic, not actual wood. So it's colored and textured like a piece of wood, but it is not an actual slab of wood. So that's what you have on the front, and on the back we have this here. So a couple things to point out. First, you have the edges, which is where your clips are going to come into play. These pop in, and that's how these things connect together to transfer electricity and actually connect and talk to one another. So the clips go into all these sides, so you can connect them to any of those, as well as the power controller will go into one of these two, whichever one you choose. In the center, we've got our adhesive here, which you peel off, you turn this over, and then you rub in a circular motion in the center for about 30 seconds to make sure that that adhesive is actually locked into place and on your wall. And then this whole thing can rotate. So if this is on your wall, your canvas piece here, your hexagon can rotate around so you can get the perfect angle on it and line it up exactly how you want. And it can come off. So if this is on your wall, you can pull away and remove your tile. It just has a kind of little nub in the center and a little grid on the bottom of this guy. And this just pops right back into place if you push your tile back onto the wall there. So that's how these guys go ahead and work. Let's go ahead and mount ours. Depending on how many panels you get, there are a bunch of different options that you can do, all these different shapes. I, of course, just made up something on my own. So this is what I currently have up on the wall with the new wood look Essentials line from Nanoleaf. So the controller is down here. Obviously, we can turn it off. If you just go back to normal, turn it back on. I can change the brightness, maybe just very dim. If I want to go all the way up to super warm, we can lower it down a little bit, and this can cycle through the different effects and different looks that you may want to do. Of course, we also have the syncing with music option and the shuffle options. These are touch-sensitive panels as well, and they have gestures built in. They're swiping right, swiping left, swiping up, and swiping down. And there's even a double tap. I can double tap, it'll go ahead and turn this thing off, and double tap again, it'll turn back on. And all those can be configured to what you want them to do between changing scenes, changing colors, changing rhythms, turning on and off. All of that is toggleable and controllable inside of the Nanoleaf app. Speaking of which, aside from those touch gestures, there's also touch actions that you can configure to operate HomeKit scenes, which I think is incredible. You can literally use these as HomeKit buttons to control anything else you have going on in the same exact room through HomeKit. So here we are in the Nanoleaf app on the panels. We can get into settings there. We can turn it on or off and adjust the brightness as you'd expect, and it'll show you what is currently playing, what scene or playlist that you're currently on. You can go to basic and just choose the color that you'd like, or create a scene. You can paint or use dynamic scenes. Then you can choose from any of the ones that you kind of have on the list here. So we have like bloom, clouds is a cool one, very light white colors, and you kind of have the effect of a cloud overpassing some of your panels, so they kind of like dim for just a moment before they come back, very similar to a cloud going overhead. We've got like fireflies, very warm, kind of flickery. Ring light's pretty standard. Flash is kind of like water-like, just kind of splashes, more staccato, quick. Warm waves. There's just a bunch of different, playlists or panels or colors and stuff, scenes that they have here in the Nanoleaf app to help you get the most of your wood panels. So I did mention these work with HomeKit, so they do show here in the Home app inside of my studio. I can go into them, I can turn it off and on, I can adjust the brightness. Now you can go here and adjust the colors, but you're pretty limited because of course there aren't that many colors. So you can choose the as white as it'll go, and you have some more warmer colors that you can go between, but there's not a ton of colors because they are pretty limited in their color offerings. But again, you can still control through here and any other scenes. So any automations that you create, whether it's when you arrive or leave, or if it is based on motion sensors, or if it's based on a button being pressed, anything like that can be tied through HomeKit to those panels. So be sure to explore through HomeKit if this is something that you are actively using. A minor critique you may notice, they do have darkness in the corners a little bit, and it's only when they're on the brightest settings that you're really going to pay attention to that. But I still kind of wanted just to point it out, like, it's not, a perfect lighting effect throughout the whole thing. They use like corner lights, which do a really good job. You have those tiny dark spots that just sit there. So it's not a big deal by any means, but I did want to at least mention it in this review. So what do you guys think of the new Wood Looks Hexagon panels from the Elements line from Nanoleaf? Personally, I'm very excited because there's nothing like this on the market. It works natively with Apple HomeKit, and I don't think we mentioned this already, but it supports Thread in a different way that you may not normally think. So these guys actually connect to Wi-Fi, so they're on your Wi-Fi network. Wi-Fi, for the most part, is going to be better than Thread throughout your home, but of course you still want the Thread benefits. You want to extend your Thread network, you want to create a more robust mesh network. This guy can actually act as a border router for those Thread devices. So when you do have something you need to extend, this will operate as a border router. And not just this, but anything in the Elements line that connects to Wi-Fi that comes out in the future. And I believe even their regular controllers are going to support Thread as at least certain ones. So don't quote me on all of this, but even certain ones of the existing controllers, they're going to act as Thread border routers. So while they won't communicate over Thread themselves, they can be the border router for your other Thread devices, which is what I want. I want that. That sounds awesome. So I'm so excited about it. I think this is a slam dunk. I would say I would prefer a darker wood tone. Personally, I have a lot of walnut colors, a lot of dark walnut, black walnut colors here in the house, and like this lighter birchy color, it doesn't always match my aesthetic. And there are some rooms in our house that work. My wife has a bohemian room that looks amazing in, so we're probably going to end up keeping it in there if I don't keep it on this wall, because it does work well where I have it. But I like the darker colors, so I would be hopeful that Nanoleaf would offer some different colors to go with this in the future, but this is already just a great step forward. There's nothing like this out there, and I'm so happy to be using it with HomeKit. Just absolutely great. So let me know over on Twitter at Andrew_OSU what you guys think. If you guys want to grab one, I got links for all of this stuff down below in the comments. And otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video.